Hi everyone, I'm doing this video to present a project that I've done with two of my friends from the bootcamp in Paris a few months ago. It was a full stack JavaScript coding bootcamp with a heavy focus on React and React Native as web and mobile framework. So at the end of the bootcamp for the last 2 weeks, we created an app with my two friends and we wanted to create an app that enabled users to browse concerts nearby and enable them to add artists to their likes and add events to their calendar and manage that. Basically, I'm just going to talk about the tech stack really quickly. So the front end here is all in React Native, obviously. So this is the iOS project, the Android project, and all the components are here and the containers and all the JS files, as you can see, thousands of lines of code. And basically, yeah, so that was React Native as a framework. I think it's a great framework. It enabled us to deploy on Android and iOS, and I think it's very awesome, especially if you want to start a project very quickly and develop an MVP and get it out there, especially if you don't have the funds to get an Android and an iOS dev. So I think this is pretty good. And in terms of the backend, the API was hosted on Heroku, and we've used our Node.js Express server here with all the models and stuff. So pretty awesome thing as well here, right? Enabling JavaScript enabling us to do full stack work and not use another language. So that's pretty awesome. And in addition to that, we've also used a famous API, which is the Songkick API, enabling developers to get data on artist information, date where they will play, venue they will play, their location, all that stuff. That is really pretty awesome because with such data, you can start creating pretty cool projects. And this API is basically used by huge companies like Spotify, for example. So yeah, that's about the tech stack. And then let's get into the app. So that's the splash screen where the user comes in and see HearMe, that's the name of the app, explore concerts nearby. So let's create an account real quickly. So create a username. All right, so here we go. Click next. And then the user is basically dropped on the home screen, which is the screen of his city. Right now it's Paris, and here you have all the events that are happening in Paris tonight. So that's actually real data that is provided by Songkick, and basically you have all the events that are happening tonight. So if I go into this one, for example, I see the photo of the artist performing, I see the venue, the address, and the lineup, and I also see the location where it is. And I can see here that it's powered by Songkick because that's how you have to use. That's what you have to do when you use their API. Anyway, I think this is a pretty cool event. I'm gonna add it to my calendar, and now the calendar refreshes, and there's the Mario Canonge event. If I want to remove it, I can also remove it here, and then there will be the empty state. If I want to go into his profile, I see all of his events here, all of his upcoming events. And right now into my likes, well, I don't have anyone to like. So if I like the artist, it will then appear into my likes, which is pretty cool. And the same thing, I can also remove it if I don't want to have him anymore. So then there's also in the home page popular events. So these are the most popular upcoming events according to Songkick and their users. So yeah, all the cool events are happening in Paris, and you can also change the city. So let's say I want to go to New York. So New York City. And same thing, API, the Sonic API will tell me what are the upcoming events in New York and what are the popular events in New York. So Cypress Hill, it's pretty cool. So all of this is really just using Sonic API and then a full stack JavaScript uh, tech stack, which is pretty awesome in my opinion. Okay, I just added this to my calendar, it's here, and then into the profile, there is, well, my profile, I can add a picture. So now I'm using the simulator, so the camera will not show, but I can take a photo from my library. Let's say I take a photo from my library, and there you go, the photo was updated, and I can change my username as well here. So let's see, if I take new, if I say new user name, user, save that, and then user. Also, the very cool feature of the app is the map view navigation. So the map view navigation is pretty awesome because you're going to be able to browse through the city's events by swiping through the event cards, and you can see the map here. So that's pretty cool. And so one thing is that we also had to use a lot of packages and we had to document ourselves a lot to create this project in under 3 weeks because we were new to code. We didn't know anything about coding before. I mean, I knew a few things about technology stacks, but actual coding, I was completely new to that. And so were my friends and my coworkers during the project. So that was HearMe, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, the presentation video, and I'm just gonna log out now. I'll put the link of the GitHub repositories in the description of the video, so if you're interested, feel free to look it up. And also, I want to give a big shout out to the bootcamp, Le Réacteur, which was, for me, the best learning experience of my life. I really recommend you doing a bootcamp if you want to get into technology, if you want to get into the understanding of what is behind code, and if you really want to build products. You know, that's basically what it is. So have a great day, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video, and see you around.